Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com with Ben McKee, talking positional previews, getting you ready for fall camp, which is not too far away. Today, talking about the running back position. Jerry Mack's the new running backs coach. Players seem to like him a lot. Chemistry seems to be pretty good there. Interesting group in the running back position because of what they lost. Everybody went, oh, major drop-off there. That group had a pretty good spring when you look at them.
Yeah, and I mean, Eric Gray is a top-notch player. Hard not to miss a talent like Eric Gray, but I don't think that there will be as big of a drop-off at the running back position. I do think that there are some guys that are ready to take that next step, and Jabari Small is the first one that comes to my mind. I thought he ran similar to John Kelly when he got chances last year as a freshman, just somebody who was mad and just refused to come down. It reminded me of when John Kelly ran behind Jalen Hurd and Alvin Kamara and kind of tried to prove himself, and Jabari Small reminded me of that, and he had a really good spring. He looked like the guy, which was a little bit surprising when you look back at spring in hindsight because you had Tyon Evans coming in, the big JUCO running back, but Tyon Evans just could not stay healthy. So you've got several guys in that room that I think are ready to make some plays now that they have an opportunity. I don't think any of them are as talented as an Eric Gray, but I think paired with the offensive line and kind of go running back by committee, you throw in a Jalen Wright, maybe a guy like D. Beckwith steps up and can make some plays, and I think they've got some guys that can not necessarily replace the talent of an Eric Gray, but be productive at least.
Yeah, I think they can replace that production for sure. I mean, the one thing that I love about Jabari Small, I love the guy who was the afterthought, okay? And he got this, he's at Tennessee because of Omari Thomas. Mm-hmm. And he had an Ole Miss offer, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it was because of Omari Thomas is why he ended up getting the Tennessee offer here. And you look at him, he's got a chance to be the starting running back. I think the X factors here, I love Jalen Wright because I think he fits this offense. I mean, in the coaching change, the guy who should be the happiest to me is Jalen Wright because of the way they want to play in space in the run game. And then you have two guys who, what are they going to do with them? You mentioned them. Evans, we don't know anything about. And D. Beckwith, how do they use him? Mm-hmm. To me, that's the unknowns of the running back. I mean, that can be a group that's really deep, or that can be a group that's got a little bit of depth concern, depending on what Evans can do and what Beckwith does for you.
Absolutely, and you still need a short yardage back to get those short yardage.
Is that T. Hodge?
Possibly.
Or is that Evans? Because he's a bigger guy? I mean, that's another question.
I think it could be a mixture of the three. D. Beckwith, not as thick, I guess, as a Tyon Evans or as a T. Hodge, but he's a big old boy. He's just a freak athlete. So I think he could pick up some short yardage situations for you. But T. Hodge, I don't know about him as an every down back, but this spring I did thought he showed at times that he can pick up that 1 yard if he needed you to, and you saw that in the open practice, you saw that in the spring game. Granted, he wasn't going up against the stiffest competition because the defensive front was battling some injuries there, and you had some guys who were no longer here. But Jalen Wright also that type of back. When I watched his tape when he committed, he reminded me of Josh Robinson, the back that was at Mississippi State with Dak Prescott a couple of years ago, and his nickname was Bowling Ball. And that's kind of what Tyon Evans reminded me of a guy who has sneaky athleticism for his size, and you see him in person, and he has tree trunk legs. So
huge.
I would expect for him to be in the rotation, and I think any of those three that we just mentioned could be your short yardage back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating to watch and see. Can Jabari Small play in the passing game, or is that going to be Jalen Wright only? What does Evans' hands look like? We don't have any idea. D. Beckwith, we think, would have pretty good hands because he's played out there before. So how do they use who in the passing game? And then who's a guy that they feel like they can line up and he can do anything for them? Is that Small? Does he get pushed by Evans, as we don't know? The thing about that room is they've got some pretty good depth, and they're going to have some sneaky competition that they didn't have in the spring if everybody could stay healthy. So that's going to be a fun room to watch and a fun group to watch in fall camp as Tennessee gets ready for the opener against Bowling Green in September. He's Ben McKee. I'm Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com.